Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the final term. And with our, of course, the first topic of our final term will be the Unit 4, Analysis and Interpretation of Assessment Results. This has been your presenter for this afternoon, March 31, 2025, Monday. And now, before we delve in with our topic, let us first have a roll call or an attendance. So, Abuhon,
Present.
Andujar,
Present.
Avila, Banluta,
Present.
Bersede,
Present.
Kaitor, Cañete,
Present.
Boino,
Present.
Igyao,
Present.
Iscauso,
Present.
Gaar,
Present.
Liray, Hermoso, Pagyeta,
Present.
Lobo,
Present.
Magtagal,
Present.
Minyon, Poras,
Present.
Ibot, present, Rivas,
Present.
Rivas Ronamel,
Present.
Sanchez Jericho,
Present.
Sarte,
Present.
Sugano,
Present.
Stene Francia, wala, Orhel, Bigonte, thank you. Okay, so, nadumduman pa to, o paano natin sinolve, or paano natin gagawin yung TOS? Nadumduman pa? Wala na? Ano
Yes.
ba ba? After midterm? Okay, so, we are giving from that TOS, we are crafting an assessment according to on how long that the time being taught to the students the specific topic. So ngayon, after we're going to make the TOS, ano na mangyari? Meron na tayong mga questions, crafted questionnaires. And then pag approve na yun, we are going to implement that or to give that assessment to the students. For example, meron tayong BEST 1A or no, BEST 2A, 2B, B and 1B, at saka B and 1A. Because these four sections were yung nag-take ng edong for the courses. Now, after the assessment is given, ano na yung mangyayari sa susunod?
Analysis and interpretation.
Item analysis. Yung item analysis, we're going to determine if yung students, yung specific item, they find it hard or they find it easy. So, for our voice now. Okay, so after that, ano na yung mangyari? After we conduct the item analysis, ano na yung mangyari?
Mag-interpret na sa result.
Okay, mag-interpret sa results. And that is our topic for this afternoon. But, hindi, yung pag-interpret ng result is marami siyang techniques. So, one of the technique is the textual presentation, which will be my focus in this unit. So, let's have first an introduction. Analysis and interpretation of data should support the fundamental purpose of assessment. We already know what is assessment, diba? So, what are the purpose of assessment? First, establishing and understanding where learners are in an aspect of their learning at the time of assessment. Of course, why would we give an assessment na hindi natin tinuturo? Sige, kayo yung estudyante, tapos nagbibigay kayo ng assessment, tapos hindi mo tinuro. Paano mo i-critique yung teacher mo?
Nasa ma'am.
Ganong gihatag man sa ako, mawala man dito, di ba? So we should be give assessment that is suitable and that is also given siya sa mga learners natin.
Yes.
Next, data has to be classified and organized in such a way it becomes easily readable, presentable, and is converted into information. So paano magiging information kung data lang? Okay lang naman yung data lang. Pero paano natin masasabi na itong bracket na to, itong basic 2A na to, marami dito ang nakakuha ng mataas na score. Dito na section, gamay lang nakakuha ang score. So, importante na yung data is turned or converted into an information where we can get more precise or more accurate information. Next, data assessment results are usually collected in a raw format, and thus the inherent information is difficult to understand. Bakit? Ano ba yung nandyan sa raw data?
Numbers.
Numbers lang. Rivas Ronamel, out of 50 items, meron kang 30. Si Mercedes hantod sa kinaiwitan, meron silang iba-iba ng number ng scores. So, paano mo masasabi na asan yung mataas doon? Mag-isa-isa pa ka o C. The raw data. Dapat magplano ka. Kung sa'yo kung gamiton ani nga interpretation. Kung sa'yo kung gamiton nga technique for analysis out of this raw data, out of these collected measurements na aking kinokolek. So, you have to plan. Bakit?
Bakit?
Para yung information din na makukuha mo is accurate din siya, precise din siya. Diba? It is important to use certain techniques to communicate findings and interpretations of research studies into visual forms. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. You should have a suitable analysis and interpretation of data analysis the techniques in order for you to conclude an information, to visualize information. The next one. So, muna siya kung dito kaina, the tabular, textual, and graphical methods. All of this provide an additional analysis of data. So, yung tabular, yung textual, yung graphical, sila yung nagpro-provide ng initial analysis. Doon ko makikita na, this section have the highest scores than BE at 1B, than BE at 1A. BS at 2A got the highest score. Nandito yung mga right. Okay?
Run through.
So, our objectives, these are our objectives for this afternoon. At the end of the lesson, the students will be able to, please read everybody.
Interpret assessment results accurately and utilize them to help learners improve their performance and achievement. And utilize assessment results to make informed decisions to improve instruction.
Thank you. Now, let's define first the presentation of data. So, the presentation of data is a process of summarizing or organizing data into logical, sequential, and meaningful categories and classifications. Yung sinasabi ko kanina, from raw data, tapos ipipresent mo siya into information. And then, you will choose techniques or suitable techniques for you to present the specific data. This refers to orderly interpret data tables, yes, charts, or graphs so that logical and statistical conclusions can be derived from the collected measurements. Presentation of data can be established in such an attractive way that it is easily understood. So, ano naman yung purpose? Pag mag-interpret tayo, di ba? We should have to interpret, to analyze, in order for us to understand. So, dapat, gagawa tayo ng data or gagawa tayo ng presentasyon ng isang data which is understand or comprehensive. Yung dali ka masabtan. No? Kasi may purpose na mag-analyze ka, pag resulta, di hapon ka kasabot. Is it effective? Gagawa ka ng graph, pero hindi mo alam kung asa ang taas o buko. Is it effective?
No.
30, 50, tas taas ang 30, mubo ang 50. Is it effective?
No.
Diba? So you should establish an attractive in a way that it is easily to understood. Data can be presented in lower forms including textual, descriptive presentation, and diagrammatic representation. Now let's proceed to the focus of this afternoon topic, which is the textual presentation. Now, textual presentation. What comes to your mind, Mr. Gaas? Textual presentation. Ano yung textual presentation para sa'yo? Sige nga. In your own lang, wala dito. Sige. What is textual presentation? When we analyze, when we interpret the specific collected measurements. What? You are presenting data to you? Text. Okay. It is textual presentation. It is a presentation of data or a summary of data, organizing a data into text, into words, into description, descriptive observations. That is textual presentation. It is a common form of descriptive presentation. Diba? Next, with the help of textual presentation, we use words, statements, or paragraph required for more numerical or measurements to describe data. They can be used independently to describe the data when there are few items or numbers. So take note na gagawan lang natin or isuot lang natin yung or gagamitin lang natin yung textual presentation when we get data or raw data or collected measurements natin na few lang yung numbers. But is few, gamay lang yung numbers. They can be also used to compare data using paragraph discussion. So what is the suitability of textual presentation? Suitable lang siya kung yung quantity of data is not large. Yung kung ay nagamay ba siya. It means that a small proportion of data that is presented as part of the subject matter of the study can become useful supportive evidence to the given text. Next, under textual presentation of data, an individual does not have to support the text with the help of diagram. Bakit? Di ba sinasabi ko kanina yung textual presentation is only description with some few numbers in a specific sentence or paragraph discussion. Bakit hindi siya nangangailangan ng support sa diagram? Miss Kaitor. Diba? Bakit? Diba? Pag sasabihin natin, kasi yung mga tabular, yung mga graphical, they are very extensive in terms of numerics, numbers. Dito sa textual presentation kasi we are using words, descriptive, and we're using observations. So why is it that hindi na siya kailangan ng support? Or text lang mismo, hindi na siya kailangan ng support sa table or any graphical or any visual forms. Bakit?
Ay, ano man siya, take, diba? Ang word mang, pag mugaan mo ta is og numbers, need siya i-support well if naka-sentence na siya is sa iha pa lang na word is na siya ka nang diha na mismo na ko ang iyang ano ba.
Okay, so the thought is there. Ito that specific sentence or paragraph discussion, yes, of course. In that specific textual presentation, the table as the text in itself is very small and has few observations. So very small yung textual presentation na yan, pero may few observation yan. Diba? So, mamaya, bibigyan ko kayo ng examples, which is magiging seat work niyo. Next. Instead of saying that the price of petrol is skyrocketing, it can be said that the price of petrol has increased by 20% in the last 2 years. So, asan yung mas maintindihan nyo or mas reliable, mas totoo sa inyo? Diba? With the help of these numbers. So, itong phrase na ito, tinatawag na itong textual presentation. Instead of using skyrocketing, di ba yung skyrocketing? Pataas. Diba? Skyrocket. Ano ba? Okay. So, instead of saying the price of petrol is skyrocketing, ibig sabihin yung presyo ng petrol is tumataas. You should use, or you must use these numbers para mas maintindihan mo na tumaas talaga ng 20%.
Precise man siya.
Yes, this precise.
Accurate there.
Now, what are the factors to consider in textual presentation of data? So, ito na yung mga factors kung paano mo gagamitin sa textual presentation. First, the researcher should know the target audience who are going to read it. Bakit? Kung grade 1 yung target audience mo, tapos magbibigay ka ng information ng pang-adult, do you think maintindihan nila?
Hindi.
Hindi, diba? The author should use wordings that does not introduce bias in research. Kailan naging bias in research?
Maging subjective.
Wow, magaling. Accuracy should be maintained in presenting data, and the numbers and percentages present in the textual data should be reviewed to avoid any mistakes in the presentation. Now, magtatanong na naman ako, Miss Rivas. Stand. Sa ating physics or advanced mechanics natin, pina-compare sa atin kung ano yung accuracy sa precision. So, ano yung different ng dalawa?
Difference.
Yung result ng merong certain guys, number na lang, certain number na kinahanglan nyo kinakailangan mong kanang init, that is para maging accurate yung well, the precision is the
result. Bakit ka pa maglalagay sa textual presentation ng mga unnecessary details kung hindi naman siya importante? Diba? Kahit ikaw, no? Pero yung iba, para mo taas yung sentence, lalo na pag gagawa ng isig, nga, 500 words, ay, kini pwede pa ni matunga o kuan, duha ka sentence. Tungaon sa kuni. So, dili ganun ha, hindi ganun pag dito sa textual presentation. Kung pwede, yung isang or yung dalawang sentence pwede mong i-merge para isang information at the same time dili siya nagha-words, diba? So try to shorten longer phrases wherever possible. So next, one mistake that often researchers make is to use general descriptive words like too much, little, exactly, all, always, never, must, and many more. Bakit hindi siya pwedeng gagamitin, Miss Bigonte? Tayo? Diba? Yung mistake ng isang researcher kasi, kapag gagamit siya ng mga ganitong words, descriptive words, pero sinasabi sa textual presentation, na descriptive yung textual presentation, pero bakit hindi siya pwedeng gagamitin? Anong nangyari? Anong meron sa mga words na ito? What do you think? Sige daw, babe. Sige, thank you, Miss Bigonte. Ikaw nga, Mr. Sugano.
I think using the phrases or words kay di siya mag-indicate sa exact or like for example sa numbers or sa result na iyang gihatan na di siya murag gibara-bara lang siya like too much dili sa specific na 100% nga na ganun.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sugano. So that's why hindi siya pwedeng gagamitin. How? Bakit? Too much? Kung saan too much? What kind of level of too much? What degree of little? Little? By what number? Diba? Exactly. Ano? How exactly it is? Avoid decorative language while make sure that you use colorful language in your data presentation. So decorative. Kisa mahilig direct decorations. Logo. Sa textual presentation? Logo.
Attractive ba daw yun niya?
Attractive in the way that it is easily understood. Pag gagamit ka ng mga descriptive, pag gagamit ka ng mga decorative, sa tingin nyo, madali lang maintindihan.
Hindi.
Di ba scholarly? Kanang dali lang gitusabda ng mga words para yung information, pagbasa mo, ay, dali lang ako nasabda. Once in a blue moon, tapos gagamitin mo yung sa textual presentation, sige nga. Tapos research, hindi pa pwede. Next, the advantages of textual presentation of data. What are these? First, it allows the researcher to make an elaborate interpretation of data during presentation. When we say elaborate, yung elaborate mo through words, may isa-isa mo, nga mo di siya, ganun yun, ito yung result. So next, a researcher can easily present qualitative data that cannot be presented in tabular or graphical form. Bakit? We use textual presentation for us to present fewer numerical data that is not provided in tabular graphical form, pero makikita natin sa isang text lang na meron na siyang mga few numbers. So, in that specific textual presentation, doon na natin makikita yung resulta, yung analysis, kung paano high or unsa ka low or naraba sa tunga-tunga. Next, if the data is present in small sets, a textual presentation can be easily used. For example, in a classroom setting, you will say there are 50 students in the class. 20 of whom are boys and 30 are girls. Masabtan dili.
Masabtan.
Masabtan. That is an example of
Textual.
presentation. It's easier to understand through textual presentation. Kailangan mo pang i-graph? Hindi, dalawa lang eh. Boys, girls. Kailangan mo pang i-tabular form? Pwede. Pero, hindi siya suitable. Kasi gamay lang yung numbers niya. Textual presentation can help in emphasizing some important points in data, allowing us to explain the data in contextual manner and draw meaning out of it. Ayan, yung textual presentation will help us to emphasize some important point, some important describing through words. We are observing. So, maha-highlight mo dun. No? How about the disadvantages of textual presentation of data? Okay, one of the major drawbacks of the textual presentation of data is that it provides extensive data in the form of text. Pag kayo, i-admit nyo man o hindi, sino yung nagbabasa dito na kanagaling humanon yun niyang isang article. When you look at into the paper na maraming words, sa tingin mo ganahan ka, panagsa lang ang ganahan mo basa. And so that is the disadvantage of using textual presentation. Ay, manig words. Basa ani. Pero graph ra gani, mo rin pinakataas. Bar graph, dali era di mo mainhan, mo ni siya. Gana siya. Pero textual, yung basa, hapulan magbasa. Yan. And detailed paragraphs which makes it difficult for the user to draw a result. This facility is provided in tabular or diagrammatic presentation of data. For example, yung sinasabi ko kanina, after you give an assessment and you will going to identify anong section ang maraming high score. Kasi apat na section ng nag-take ng EDU4, for example. So, nakaba sa best and 2A, 2B, BF 1B, 1A. So, dito mo malalaman. Pero marami na kasi siya. So, yung suitable sa kanya is tabular or diagrammatic presentation. So, wala na si textual presentation niya. No? One major drawbacks here. Next. This method of presenting data is not suitable for presenting large or complex data, as these sets contains many data. Balik-balik na tana. Second, the slides one has to read the whole text in order to understand the main point and comprehend the main point of the data. Kailangan mong basahin para maiintindihan mo kung ano yung results. Diba? So, dili man ka makakuha ng information kung dili mo basahon tanan. What if di ay ang comparison sa data kay nadi sa pinakaiwit? Wala dito sa una kay giuna na yung title. Sunod. Examples of textual presentation na tayo. Naintindihan yung mga discussions, yung factors, yung disadvantages, advantages ng textual presentation. Naintindihan? Okay, bantay yung putana sa ako niya. Dito tayo. Mayroon tayo, example number 1. The raw data is temperature readings of Tabinas Regatta Sur in March 13, 2025. So, Mr. Magtagat, can you stand? So, this was the temperature readings in degrees Celsius from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. in Tabinas Regatta Sur. So, paano mo gagawin yan ng textual presentation? Sige nga, mag-usra ka nga dyan.
According to the raw data, the temperature readings of Tabinas Regatta Sur on March 3, 2025 are the following. 10 a.m. Is 25.5 degrees Celsius. At 10:15 a.m. the temperature is 26 degrees Celsius. At 10:30 a.m. the temperature is 26.2 degrees Celsius. And in 10:45 a.m. 10:45 a.m. temperature rises to 26.4 degrees Celsius, and at 11 a.m. temperature is 26.6 degrees Celsius. Therefore, as the time passes by, the temperature also rises.
Thank you, Mr. Magtagat. So, kung siya yung mag-textual presentation,
Ibugay.
hindi lang libog. Tapulan pa man dyan ka magbasa niya, taas sa yung textual presentation, wala kang makukuha information kung tapulan ka magbasa. Pero basahan to mo siya, naka-detailed diyang textual presentation. But, meron akong tips, grabe akong research para dyan masabtan, para ma-shorten ito textual presentation.
ba?
Ito na! The temperature readings of Tapinas Regal del Sur in March 13, 2025 is from 25.5 degrees Celsius to 26.6 degrees Celsius from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. respectively, with an average of 26.14 degrees Celsius. Masabtan din. Masabtan. Na-average, di ba? Subot pasabot, at that 10 to 11 a.m. ang temperature area is that average 26.14 degrees Celsius. Yan, isa ka siya from 25.5 to 26.6 degrees Celsius. Now get 1/2 sheet of paper. Twice. Hindi to assessment ha, seat work lang to.
Pwede notebook ba?
Sige, ay na lang. Kunya na lang ng 1/2 sheet of paper. Magtawag na lang po. Okay.
Hello?
Second raw data, Miss Cañete. Please stand. Nandalito ka, please stand. Okay, the raw data here it is. Website traffic from Monday, March 24 to Friday, March 28. So Monday, 1,200 visitors. Sa Tuesday naman, 1,500. Wednesday, 1,300. Thursday, 1,600. Friday, 1,800 visitors. How can you convert it into textual presentation, Miss Cañete?
Where?
According to the road data, so the website traffic from Monday to Friday ranges from 1,200 visitors to 1,800 visitors. Okay. Medyo, ano lang no, medyo cute lang kayo yung textual presentation. Take note ha, pag gagamit tayo ng textual presentation, wag i-according to the raw data. Largo to sa iya ha. Sa iya ha. What's the traffic from Monday, chuchu. Hindi tayo according to the raw data ha. Okay. So the website experienced increasing traffic throughout the week, starting at 1,200 visitors on Monday and peaking at 1,800 visitors on Friday, showing a steady rise in user engagement. Tama na itong ka-Justin kay lang, kaso kulang siya. Oh! Forward! Si average engagement.
Conclusion, parang na.
Increasing. Diba?
Wala siya conclusion.
Interpretation.
Okay, stand, Mr. Sarte. Isa siya, ulang, ano man? Okay, Mr. Sarte, for the next question. Next reading.
Ponzi's Gadget. Nalala kayo yung gadget shop? Grabe, maruwi ito itong unang gadget sales report for the month of March 25.
Product A has 150 units, 230 units for B, 180 units for C, 200 units for D. How can you analyze or interpret this into the score?
Ponzi's Gadget Shop sold 150 units in the month of March. Sa March na, no? March na ano, no?
Pero laylay lang siya ng product.
Alay na ang product.
Okay, so ano din yung pag-quality so presentation? Big!
Ponzi's Gadget Shop sold ilan tanan? Variety of units.
Sige, kibalik mo. Ano ba yung product in the month of March 25? Sige, take your seat, Mr. Saite, Master Sarte. Okay, ikaw, Cly, go! Ponzi's Gadget Shop sales report in the month of March 2025 shows that product B to be the most sold out item following product D, product A, and product C and product A. Okay. Tingnan natin. Perfect. Tingnan. And the latest sales report of Ponzi's Gadget Shop of March 20. Product B had the highest sales with 230 units sold, followed by the product D with 200 units. Product A had the lowest sales at 150 units. ihadak di mo yung mas pinakadaghan na solve kaysa sa uban na.
Mura kag ma-conclude, no?
Thank you, thank you.
Okay? Okay, last na lang, Mr. Magdagad. Okay, hangyo mga answer ka. Go. Last na lang ni siya ang question. Kana, connected sa...
Consis gadget siya ay according to Consis Consis gadget shop server responses customer satisfaction with an
Yung question ni Mr. Lawrence Cagaina, ma-apply na to diri sa last question.
ay total with a total score of ay with the total responses of 46 30 16
Good luck. Nagpili ba?
with the total score responses of 100 45 of each ay 45 of which responses are excellent following with 30 responses which is good 15 which is average and lastly 10 which is poor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Magdagad. Medyo taas gihapon, pero gi-include yun niya nga taas niyong si poor ni siya. But, in order for you to have a kanaganing brief textual presentation, mali siya, shouldn't, out of 100 customer feedback responses, 45% rated as excellent, while 30% found it good. Only 10% rated it as poor, indicating that Consus Gadget Shop achieved an overall positive customer satisfaction. So, nandito yung conclusion, di ba?
Na-conclude. Ma-conclude yung permis.
Yan na siya nga, nag-indicate siya nga yung Consus Gadget Shop has na siya yung overall positive
Ina na ba
customer
sa
satisfaction.
research?
Kahit na sobra man siya 45 responses pa yung excellent. Tapos wala may nagparehas na natin yung responses, di ba? Wala yung bilang 15. Okay. Pwede dili na mo siya i-appeal para dili na mo taas ang textual presentation. As long as, ini-indicate mo na doon
Ang higher index, mo lower index ang
Oo,
ano
lower
ang
index
target.
yun pag nandito tayo sa textual presentation, the higher and the lower.
Oo.
Tapos maintindihan mo naman, 100 customer, 45, 30, 15, at 10. Kita yung nabilin. 15. So, ibig sabihin, yung average na yun, yung 15. Diba? O, naman ka. 100 customer, tapos 45, 30, 10. Ibig sabihin yung 15 ang iba yung answer. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Ay, dili pa rin naman. So, nasabtan ra.
Sabtan na.
Gusto na ba?
Yes.
Okay. Conclusion. Effective presentation of data is important for clear communication and insightful analysis and interpretation of assessment results. Example of data presentation is textual presentation. Na. Which offer an easy interpretation of data. Easy ba?
Yes.
So, kabalo na mo yung textual presentation karon.
Yes.
Ay.
Maybe.
However, its limitation is clearly on larger and more complex data. So, ang limit lang ganyan is dili kita magamit ang textual presentation mo. Ang marami na ang data. Researchers should prioritize clarity, accuracy, and an unbiased approach, following the factors to consider in making textual presentation. Di ba may mga factors tayo to choose that specific analysis of textual presentation? This is to avoid overly descriptive language and unnecessary data to maximize the effectiveness of data presentation. Ano man, pag ka na din, taas na kayo siya, effective pa ba siya ang textual presentation mo? Di ba, ang sinasabi niya kasi yun, nag-observe lang, nag-describe in just a small lang na mga description. So, when we use textual presentation, hindi yung mataas kasi nga, takulan tamag, basa! Target audience and strategic choice of presentation are essential for achieving accurate interpretation, which is aligned from the objectives, and informed decision-making in assessment and instruction. Hasol pa dahil ni textual presentation kaya nga nung i-align pa ba nato sa objective sa decision making. So, muna siya, when we use textual presentation, dapat meron yung mga factors to consider. The target audience, the strategic choice, yes, Mr. Magdagan. Okay, so, dito tinuod ha nga taklan mo magbasa. Ang tinuod ato is, para dili siya lengthy. Kini mo find out that drawbacks, the disadvantage of the textual presentation is kanang taas ganun siya. Tapos, maglisod na kagkuha kung asa ang main information, ang main point. So, na-record natin eh. Una to siya. Mga ginahanglan, pag magbuhat ko of textual presentation, it should be brief. Kamay ra. Okay, ready na for assessment?
Yes, ma'am!
No more questions? Do you have any questions?
None!
Okay. Please.
Ini papel, ini papel.
So na, direction for assessment. In a 1/2 sheet of paper, crosswise, explain in 5 to 8 sentences the importance of textual presentation analysis in various contexts. Emphasize the significance of understanding the textual presentations. Do this in 5 minutes. This will be 10 points. Muna siyang rubrics para ma-aware mo kung yun sa pag-check ang inyong essay. Everyone please be quiet. Criteria. Content. Excellent copy. Kung good 2, compare 1. Organization of ideas. Excellent 4, good 3, pair 2. Writing quality. 3 ang excellent, good 3, pair 1. So that it makes 10 points. Okay, your timer starts now. And now, your time is up, so pass your papers in front. So this ends our topic, which is the textual presentation under the analysis and interpretation of the assessment results. Specifically, pag in the future na natin na-use, di ba? Pag magiging teacher na tayo, magiging teacher, sige, kana. Pag gusto ka mag-analyze nga, kanito siya kay naka-bracket ni nga pinakataas, kanya pinakabubo. So, yeah, kung gusto niyo na, ano lang siya, descriptive lang siya, with a few numbers lang, pag tanong mo sa data na, ay, hindi na siya kailangan of table of graphics. So, you should use textual presentation. These are our my references. And thank you for listening.